Mr. Rizvi, if you can hear me, my question is to you. I'm trying to put that question to Karachi. Hyder Abbas Rizvi. One second. Mr. Rizvi, can you hear me? Oh, I think I've lost. I think I lost. Okay, clearly I lost the audio line. The Kanwal Sibal, the standard response from Pakistan from both Senator Professor Sajid Mir as well as Syed Tariq Pirzada is that of total denial of any hand in Kairan. Now, as an experienced diplomat, how would you respond to them, sir?
First of all, I find this debate very pointless because I've seen it before also. The Pakistanis who come on your show are absolutely determined not to have a reasonable debate. And they go off the point and they are vituperative and they raise all sorts of irrelevant issues. And if you get down to their level and begin debating with them, it is pointless. Then we are straying away from the subject and we're not going to go anywhere because they're never going to admit that they are guilty of anything. And this is the story of the last 65 years. So what's the point in trying to convince them to admit that?
Who's guilty?
Come on. Let me say this. Since you're provoking me, let me say this. Come on. Are these 70,000 Kashmiris Pakistanis? What is your claim on them? What is your claim on them?
They are Muslims.
You talk about Babri Masjid. Was it a Pakistani masjid? Then the whole bloody Muslim world is your brother, and you stand up for all their causes. You stop.
It was not a Hindu masjid.
You stop interfering.
Have you heard any Pakistani
you stop interfering in the internal affairs of country.
Hindu temple?
You are die-hard communalists. You are die-hard communalists. There cannot be any rational dialogue with you. You are the guys who divided India. You are not satisfied with having Pakistan. You have territorial designs on us.
Piece of land that was illegally sold because of undue influence.
You are die-hard communalists. You cannot have a rational dialogue with you.
Go back into history.
Community. This is the
one second. Said Tariq, please, I request you. You see, Kanwal Sibal heard you and he didn't interrupt you when you were speaking.
What is your right to talk about internal affairs of India? Whatever we do to Babri Masjid or Muslims,
it is my right because I'm a strategic affairs analyst. I've been invited to speak on the show just to let you know that you really are on the wrong side of it.
It's unfortunate you've been invited.
I think the issue at hand is the escalation. 1 second. The issue at hand is very simple. I don't know why we are veering away.
No, let me come to the point.
To some point, let us not veer away. No, watch it. I just want to reiterate the point once again to all our panelists so that we can go back to that with your permission, sir. Coming back to you, Kanwal Sibal, I just want to reiterate what we are discussing. On the Newshour tonight, we are discussing the marked escalation, the repeated incursions by the Pakistani army in a specific sector in Jammu and Kashmir, exactly at the same time as India was attempting, despite the Prime Minister, despite public opinion, was having a handshake with Nawaz Sharif. We are talking about a grand betrayal once again, and that's what we are talking about tonight. Kanwal Sibal, before I come back to you, I lost the audio link with Hyder Abbas Rizvi. Well, why is the Pakistani army being adventurous, Mr. Rizvi? I'll come back to you, Mr. Sibal.
Let me. Okay.
Are you talking to me right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just want to tell you that for the very first thing, that the way we are talking to each other from the Pakistan side and from the India side, I don't think that it's going to help the situation like that. And I want to tell you point blankly that the people of Pakistan and the Parliament of Pakistan and the Prime Minister of Pakistan wants a better relation with our neighboring country, India. Being proud Pakistani, I want to let you know another thing, that the Prime Minister, Mr. Nawaz Sharif, contacted the Indian Honorable Prime Minister to have a meeting. And if you believe that the government of Pakistan or any institution of Pakistan are trying to sabotage this peace dialogue, we don't believe that. We are having the same kind of complaints from the other side. But is this the real way? The way we are talking tonight will help the situation? I doubt it very much. Our Prime Minister, Mr. Nawaz Sharif, have offered your Honorable Prime Minister that our generals can sit together, they can talk together, the DGMOs can they can have a dialogue, and then they can exactly figure out that what happened. So until unless we'll do so, it's just the blame game are being played on the both sides of the border. So what I request with the Indian media and with the Pakistani media,
for
with
all
the
sincerity
Indian
of your
bureaucracy and Pakistani bureaucracy to hold on, we have to improve upon the situation. There are so many elements who don't want to see India and Pakistan go in hand, because we are one of the largest economy on the face of the earth.
How do we care?
So kindly give peace a chance.
Mr. Rizvi, simple question to you, and Maruf wants to respond to you directly today. I appreciate your sincerity. Maybe you want peace with Pakistan.
How do you know that Maruf wants to respond?
I don't know about Nawaz Sharif. I have question marks. Many people have question marks here about Nawaz Sharif's own background. But the fact is, the only limited fact is, I'm coming to Kanwal Sibal actually is rebutting here. August 14th, first infiltration. August 18th, second infiltration. These infiltration attempts are happening just before the ministry meeting in New York. What you're telling me is that you have no control over your Pakistani army? Then all the talks are pointless. Your claims of wanting peace are completely farcical. Kanwal Sibal first. Kanwal Sibal wants to come in. I'll come to you, Maruf. Kanwal Sibal, please.
Let's take the facts on the ground. The Pakistan army has never admitted that they're responsible for infiltration or pushing terrorists into India. The Pakistan government has never admitted that. Retired Pakistani prime ministers have written, retired Pakistani generals have written admitting to what they have been doing. But serving civilian governments, prime ministers never admit that. So therefore I don't expect the Pakistani panelists today to admit that actually this is going on. So therefore we'll never win this debate. But let me come to these DGMOs. Now this was supposedly the most important outcome of the meeting between the two prime ministers. Now the DGMO can deal with the conduct of the armed forces on the respective sides, which means state actors. But if the Pakistani side claims that either there are no non-state actors, or if there are, they have no control over them, then I'm afraid the agreement between the DGMOs is not going to cover the activity of the non-state actors. The sincere way to go around doing this, if the Pakistani side wanted to actually curb these incidents and stabilize the line of control, would be on the Pakistani side to establish the same kind of anti-insurgency or anti-militancy grid of 5 kilometers depth that we have created on our side, which the Pakistani side should create, patrol, monitor and make sure there is no hostile movement across that by anybody into India. That's number one. Number two, they should share information with us, because we intercept messages coming from the other side for receivers at this end to facilitate infiltration. If they are sincere, they should share information with us. Number three, there should be more meetings at the divisional headquarters level, at the brigade level, so that this insurgency, this militancy, this terrorism is controlled. But if they don't do that, I'm afraid this DGMO's mechanism is going to be an eyewash. It's not going to produce any results, because it will not cover non-state actors. And unless Pakistan admits, even if they don't formally admit, but in actual acts admit that they have to control, they have to control the non-state actors, it will not work.
No, let's take this as a given, Mr. Pirzada. The Pakistani army, once again, like in Kargil and like in...
Well, I've already heard what your representative said. So why are you adding something to that what has been said?
Trying to push your soldiers on our side. So what has happened in Kairan is very serious, because we here look upon it as a betrayal, Mr. Pirzada. This is pure and simple betrayal.
Okay. First of all, let me correct you on one thing.
Internal problem.
All right, let me correct you on one point. There is no such thing as betrayal, because Pakistan does not owe you anything. These are two adversary states, enemy states. So that's as long as the Kashmir conflict remains, these states are enemy states. So all this thing about loyalty and betrayal, that's nonsense. Number two, I don't agree with the Pakistani fellow from Karachi that there is a blame game from both sides. No, there is a blame game only from the Indian media, from the Indian side, and the incursions and the intrusion into Pakistan and the heavy-duty bombardment by heavy-duty Indian guns of the line of control. Come on, guys, what are we talking about? Number three, As far as Pakistan is concerned, Pakistan does not have the luxury of sending any person to your side because we are too busy dealing with multiple problems in our country. And so therefore, your accusations are a media war, a part of a media war, but not a part of the factual war.
As a senator in the Pakistan Assembly would agree with. Because, Senator, you see, this is the problem. There has to be reasonableness from both sides. There has to be. But if this is the attitude, Senator, then what do you expect?
I doubt it.
Order. One sec. Senator, let me ask you this. When the Indian consulate in Jalalabad there is a blast outside it, just weeks after we make overtures to your new government, who's being reasonable? When our parliament attack is attacked after Agra, who is being responsible?
Look, I want to emphasize on one thing now. Nawaz Sharif offered peace to India. Your Prime Minister went to the United Nations with a long list of blames. He presented a long list of blame on Pakistan. Was it correct? Was it an opportune time to repeat these blames which have been repeated all over our history, all over the past? It was not an opportune time. The proper way was to accept the offer of peace, talk about peace, but you want to talk about war always. You don't want to talk about peace. Sir, you want to talk about blames and war, not about peace.
At the same time, you were carrying out these major incursions in the Karen sector. We have proof of that tonight. How sensible and reasonable was that? Now, Kamal Sibal raised his hand out there. Kamal Sibal, please. Maruf, I'm coming right after Kamal Sibal. Yes.
Let's see how substantive your allegation is. What is the proof? 1, 2, 3. What is the proof?
Sir, the proof is there for you to see if you want to see it. Sir, Maruf Raza is responding to your question. Where is the proof? As far as I'm concerned, it was a classic military operation.
Mr. Pirzada, we will never agree, but these infiltrators haven't dropped from another planet and from the sky into the Karen sector. They've obviously come by land. And the LOC, sir, please hear me out. Please hear me out.
Sure.
The LOC is the most highly militarized frontline perhaps in the world. So neither party can allow any infiltrators to go through without their complete knowledge and support. There are no big gaps on the LOC where some group of infiltrators can walk past while the Pakistan army soldiers are taking a nap on the other side. The fact of the matter is it's happened. Now, General Hamid Gul in an interview to me on this channel admitted that there are hardline elements in the Pakistani establishment who are not keen that Nawaz Sharif should move forward with India. I'm giving Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif the benefit of doubt that he wants good relations with India, as the distinguished senator from MQM from Karachi has brought out. But the fact of the matter is the hardliners don't want him to move so quickly and therefore are escalating the situation there. And let me also tell you that Brigadier Javed Hussain, an ex-special service officer from your army, has twice on record on this channel admitted that these militant groups work in very close consonance with your special forces, with or without the knowledge of the army. So the fact of the matter is, there is a complete grid which operates with the consent of Rawalpindi. My last point to Professor Saab is that what is Nawaz Sharif's link with the Ahle Hadith element? There are writers from Pakistan who say, and they have written in Indian papers to say, it was because of this Nawaz Sharif Sahab was given his asylum in Saudi Arabia, and you would probably be able to throw a bit of light on that. So there is a whole nexus working there, which unfortunately New Delhi is oblivious about.
Suppositions and baseless things.
Okay, now may I say a couple of things quickly. Number one, the Prime Minister of Pakistan gave a lot of substantive proof to the Indian Prime Minister that there was a massive intelligence involvement and other involvement from the Indian side into Balochistan. And this was actually even brought up by Shiv Shankar Menon himself, and he denied that.
Your moderates have denied that there was no proof given.
Okay, no. Mr. Shiv Shankar Menon brought it up and then he denied it. All I'm trying to say is, Pakistani Prime Ministers
he said
are
very
not
clearly,
known
if
to
you
have
heard the press
raised.
interview,
They are
we've
not
been
known
asking
to have
for
raised.
proof. No proof
if I may
is
say,
forthcoming.
if I may say, Pakistani Prime Ministers in the past history are not known to have raised an issue like this before. This is for the second time. First it was in Sharm el-Sheikh, but now it was in New York that this issue was raised. Number two,
sir, that is,
and
sir,
had it not been
sorry,
substantive,
sir, but
it would not have been raised.
To show me proof, because that is as absurd. That is as absurd.
I gave you the logical argument.
That I can also
gave
turn
you
around
the
and say that
logical
Nawaz
argument.
Sharif,
Had it not been a substantive
in that meeting also
issue,
agreed that
Mr. Nawaz Sharif would not have raised it
totally Indian territory
on an occasion sensitive.
He had
as
asked
this
for a
one.
unilateral withdrawal from Siachen, knowing that you are at a disadvantageous situation, but your army vetoed it. Would you deny that? That
No,
came
that
out
is
in your
incorrect.
press.
No, that is incorrect. I would say let us agree to that on the show
to
withdraw. Both sides withdraw as required by the resolutions of 1948. And I tell you one thing, you guys will never, you don't even talk about
Siachen was not part of the resolution of 48, sir. Should I repeat the resolution of 13th August 1948? There is no mention of Siachen.
Please do
the
so.
ceasefire line ceases well before Siachen. Please look at the map, sir.